since the alleged domestic violence incident involving the Cowboys' Ezekiel Elliott. The Columbus, Ohio authorities did not press charges in the case, but we do know that the NFL's investigation is still ongoing. What more can you tell us about this timetable?
Kind of status quo, as I understand it. Cowboys people are still saying what they've said all last year, which is they're not worried about this ending up in any kind of disciplinary action based on what they know for Ezekiel Elliott. But I think, the league is being very careful and taking its time, and they're not saying much about it. But what little you can find out, people tell you, we don't want to get this wrong. It's more important to get it right than to get it done quickly. It obviously hasn't had an effect on Ezekiel Elliott's performance or the Cowboys. They went 13-3, and he led the league in rushing by 300 yards. So it's not as if it's a distraction. The NFL, obviously, years after the Ray Rice case, is very cognizant of making sure that they get it right, that they don't want to make any announcements about discipline or lack thereof, and then have new information come out after the fact that makes them look like they didn't do their homework. So they're doing a lot of the homework.
And finally, from OTAs, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said something interesting yesterday, that Russell Wilson is finally healthy after his injury-prone campaign of last year. He played through a strained right pectoral muscle, high ankle sprain, left knee injury, didn't miss a start. But how much of an effort has Seattle made to preserve him?
Right? I mean, he's healthy. Of course he's healthy. No one's hit him since January. Right. I mean, the problem with Russell Wilson is they haven't done enough to protect him. They brought in Luke Joeckel, who was the number 2 pick in the 2013 draft. Didn't work out, obviously, in Jacksonville. They signed him for $8 million, and they're hoping he's the answer at left tackle, because they really have Seattle spends money on its stars. Wilson makes money. Doug Baldwin makes money. Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas. And then they look for bargains on the offensive line. And some years that they've been able to work it out, and some years like last year it had a negative effect on the offense. So we'll see if Luke Joeckel ends up helping.
Yeah, that's an awful lot on one guy, though, when you're talking about an entire offensive line. Dan, as always, great to talk football.